All right. Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not at school today, but I wanted to make sure we got a lesson in. This is going to be a video on ratios and rates. So the next couple weeks we're going to be studying ratios, rates, and proportions. So your goal for today is to be able to learn how to write ratios, find unit rates, and then solve real life problems, which is what we're going to do. We're going to start with a couple of warm-ups. During the video, while you're watching this, what I would like you to do is to pause the video every now and then when it comes time to doing a little bit of work and get the work done. And then when you're done with that, just press play and begin, the video up again as you finish all the work. Okay? There's not a lot of work. Mostly today you're going to be learning a lot of vocabulary. So here are the four warm-up questions. What I'd like you to do is pause the video, copy these down on a sheet of paper. You can use a calculator for this, and write your answer in decimal form. All right, so make sure don't give me anything like 12 remainder of 2 or something like that. Make sure everything's in a decimal form, okay? So pause the video, solve these questions, and then press play to make sure you got the correct answers. All right, on the first one, 27 divided by 2 should come out to 13.5. When you do 12.6 divided by 4.2, that's going to give you 3. $3.45 divided by 5 is 0.69 or 69 cents. And 20 divided by 8 is going to be 2.5. Okay, the reason why we're doing that is because you're going to be doing a lot of division of decimals and whole numbers and stuff like that today. All right. So our lesson is on ratios. We're going to talk about rates and unit rates also, but let's start with ratios. So here's where you want to stop the video for a second. Just write down this first sentence up here. Okay, a ratio is just a way of comparing two or more numbers. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to compare the pictures that are on the screen. Okay, I'm going to show you how to write ratios by using the pictures that are on your screen. All right, but a ratio is just basically a comparison. So we're comparing two or more things. All right, watch how simple this is. All right, so here's my picture. Same picture that was on the previous page. All right, if I said, what's the ratio of aliens to planets? What I would have to do is count them up, right? So I have aliens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Planets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I just got to write 4 to 6, right? So for every 4 aliens, there are 6 planets. If I ask for the ratio of planets to aliens, well, that would just be the opposite, right? So I'd count the planets first, right? So planets come first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 4 aliens, that would be 6 to 4. And I can make a lot of different ratios by comparing different things. The last one is going to be, what if I set the aliens to the total number of images? Well, the total number of images is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there are 4 aliens, so that would be 4 to 13. Okay, it's that easy. All right. Now, this is really important. So again, I need you to pause this after you watch this short little demo. Ratio can be written in 3 different ways. Here are the 3 ways. You can write it the way I just wrote it before, with the word 2 in between the numbers. 2 to 3. You can put a colon in between them. Colon is just these 2 little dots, right? 2 to 3. And a lot of times ratios are written as fractions, all right? So this would be like 2 aliens to 3 spaceships or something like that. All right. The important thing about ratios is they should always be written in lowest terms. So you're going to have to get into the habit of putting these numbers into lowest term form. Okay? Now, you can do an activity that's going to take a little bit of time. And I want you to do this with a partner. All right? So you're going to get a table that looks like this. And you're just going to kind of like fill in whatever the missing information is. So in every one of these lines, there are 2 pieces of information, but there's 2 pieces that are not filled in, right? So we're going to do the first 2 with you, right? And this is a thinking activity, right? This isn't as easy as it might seem. Some of them are, but some of them are a little more challenging. So I want you to give this a whirl and see what happens, okay? So like take a look at the first one, right? I want to compare the ratio of girls to boys. I know there's 20 girls and there's 15 boys. Well, filling this table in is easy because I know that's going to be 35 people because I just have to do 20 plus 15, right? Now, when it says to do the ratio would be 20 to 15. But we don't want to put 20 to 15 because 20 and 15 can both be simplified by 5. So I'm going to write my ratio in lowest terms, and that would be 4 to 3, right? Because 20 divided by 5 would be 4, 15 divided by 5 would be 3, all right? So you're going to have to figure out the 2 pieces of information that's missing from each one of these lines. All right, second one, I can see I got 18 boys and I got 28 total people. So just by doing simple subtraction, 28 minus 18 means I have 10 girls. All right. And again, 10 to 18 is the ratio, but since 10 and 18 can both be divided by 2, the ratio is actually going to be 5 to 9. All right. So I want you to pause this. This might take you 15 minutes or so. You have a math teacher with you. I think Mr. Key is going to be your sub today. So with Mr. Key and with your partners, please fill out the missing items and have him check the work for you to make sure that you've got the right answers, okay? When you're done with that, go ahead and press play and we'll move into learning about rates, okay? All right, so hopefully you did okay on that last little assignment. Right now, we're gonna be looking at rates, okay? So rates are ratios. They're just a special kind of ratio. And with a rate, what happens is, instead of comparing two numbers, we're comparing two different units. Unit could be something like hours, or days, or minutes, or dollars, or anything, right? Peanuts, whatever, right? So here's some examples, all right? Let's say I have a car that gets 30 miles or 300 miles on 10 gallons of gas, meaning you can put 10 gallons of gas in your car, and your car will go for 300 miles. Well, this is a rate, and the rate would be 300 miles to 10 gallons, right? So since we're comparing units now, the ratio becomes, so here's the ratio, 300 to 10, but it becomes a rate because we're comparing two different units. Okay, another example. Let's say we've got a girl named Sarah, and she's getting paid $300 for 20 hours of work. So that would be 300 or dollars, right? Dollars are what we're comparing to hours. How many dollars per hour? So you probably heard things like miles per hour or inches per day, like we're talking about snow, right? These are all called rates, right? How about one more, right? Let's say a man loses 24 pounds in 6 weeks, right? So this time we're comparing pounds to weeks, right? And that would be 24 pounds for 6 weeks, all right? So these are what are called rates, right? I don't want to take a lot of time on this because I think it's pretty easy and because it's going to lead us into the next thing, which are called unit rates, right? So here are some common everyday rates that you might run into. It's like when you get your first job, you're going to get paid in dollars per hour. If you buy a car, or not buy a car, but if you're traveling by car, miles per hour, how many miles you go. Like I said, inches per day might be the number of inches of rain or snow that come in one day. Miles per gallon is pretty common. And we just did the one with the guy losing weight, that would be pounds per week. Okay? So these are what are called rates. Okay? Now, in the real world, here's how we kind of put this all together. All right? So let's say we have this rate. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know why that just happened. All right? We got this family called the Jones family. And they travel 320 miles in 8 hours on one day. All right? So if I want to find out how many miles they travel in one day or 1 hour, I would do 320 divided by 8, right? Because like I said, a ratio can be written as a fraction. So 320 divided by 8 would be 40. And that would tell me that on average, they traveled 40 miles per hour, right? Now, this is special, right? This is really special because now instead of saying, how much did they travel in 8 hours, I'm asking, how much did they travel in 1 hour? So that number 1 is really, really important. And when we do that, it's a special kind of rate, all right? So you want to write this down. This is really important. So when you write a rate, that tells you how much it is for 1 unit, meaning 1 hour or 1 day or 1 minute or something like that. That's what's called a unit rate. And this is where these things get really, really, really helpful in our real lives, okay? So pause this if you need to, write this down, and then we're going to talk about some unit rates. All right, so let's take a look at an example. Let's say we have this girl. She's reading a book, right? We're going to find a unit rate, right? So this girl named Jan, she can read 1,200 words in 8 minutes. So that means 1,200 words to 8 minutes is the rate. If I want to know how many words per minute she can read, I'm going to do 1,200 divided by 8, right? And 1,200 divided by 8 is 150. So Jan can read 150 words per minute. So 1,200 words in 8 minutes is the rate. 150 words per minute would be the unit rate because that's how much it is in 1 minute. So again, we're focusing on that number 1, which is really important. Okay, how about this one? Here's our car again, our little speedy, it kind of looks funny. He has both of his eyes on one side of his nose. That's kind of weird. All right. Anyway, Bob's car gets 345 miles on 15 gallons of gas, right? So let's see, we would have 345 miles to 15. That would be the rate, right? So 345 miles to 15 gallons, right? And if we wound up doing the division, we would find that Bob would get 23 miles per gallon, 23 miles per gallon, and that would be the unit rate. Okay. All right. Now, this is for me one of the most important reasons for unit rates is when we go to the store. All right. And I'm not sure how much you pay attention to these things when you go to the store, but you see these things in the grocery store all the time, right? So if you look at a label, it's telling me that this particular gusher, strawberry, whatever that is, it sounds like a drink or something like that, right? Costs $3.29. But I can see that the unit price is 60.9 cents per ounce, right? That means it's probably 5 ounces, whatever this thing is, okay? This is really kind of important because um, you can kind of like comparison shop, right? You can kind of look and see what's the best prices, what's the best deal, right? See it here again, right? So here's like two different things of ketchup, right? They're both exactly the same, right? But at this store, um, it's $6 or 6.49 cents per ounce, and over here it's going to be 5.97 cents per ounce, right? So you're saving about half a cent per ounce. And if it's a big thing, you might save 15 or 20. Well, it's 44 ounces, right? So you're saving like a quarter just on that one thing, right? So this is kind of like where we use unit rates a lot is in like comparison shopping and stuff. So like here's a couple things. I just kind of put these together, right? So what I'd like you to do is again pause the video for no, don't even pause the video. Don't even worry about it. All right, we're just gonna work these out. So if it says I paid $40 for 8 hamburgers, $40 for 8 hamburgers is the price. But the unit price, right, is going to be 40 divided by 8, which would be $5 per hamburger. Okay? And then there's another example to the right of it, which says a video game store sells 3 old games for $34.26. What would be the unit price? Again, we would just do 34.26 divided by 3, and that would tell me it'd be $11.42 per game. Okay? So we got one final thing to do. I want you to, again, pause the video when you get to the next slide. All right? And I want you to have these questions ready for me, or the answers ready for me, when I come back and see you on Tuesday. No, not today's Tuesday. On Thursday. Um, so again, you don't have to write the words down. You can if you'd like to. But here are 4 prices. And I'd like you to tell me the unit price for each of these things. All right? So just on a separate sheet of paper, write these down. And I want to see these answers on Thursday to make sure that I know you were watching the video and that you got to the end of the video, right? So hopefully you got to this point right now, all right? So thanks for watching the video. I apologize for not being here today. I'll catch up with you on Thursday. We'll review this stuff. And then again, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be moving into a unit on proportion, which is actually kind of fun, okay? So have a great day. Again, sorry I'm not there, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.